I'm going to show you several chicken recipes that I keep in rotation for the busy work week. All of these are delicious and so easy to make. Here we go. Let me share with you some of the secrets that you might not know to achieve a quick and easy, tender, juicy chicken breast made right in the oven. It's so simple and easy, and it's perfect for those of you that don't have time to marinate and tenderize your chicken. Here we go. To start, here I have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and this chicken just came out of my refrigerator. It is cold. So this is a great secret tip, or just tip, and you'll want to place the chicken on your baking tray with parchment paper and let it set on your counter for about 20 minutes to remove the chill. This is going to ensure that you get an even cook when you go to make the chicken. You can season with any seasoning, rubs, spices, mixes you prefer. Season how you like. Today I'm using some granulated onion powder, granulated garlic powder. Here I have smoked paprika, and I'm also going to use this lemon pepper blend seasoning, also some salt, and I'm going to add some avocado oil. So first things first, I'm going to add the cooking oil. You want to do this on both sides. And I'm just going to make sure that it's evenly coated. So I'm going to take this little silicone brush and just brush the exterior of the chicken. So for the video, I'm not going to show you how I did the underside of the chicken, but just do both sides with the oil. And then after you coat it, you'll want to start adding your seasonings and spices on both sides. And like I said, use the flavor profiles that you want. It just depends on what you're using the chicken breast for. I'm going to add some salt because most of the seasonings I'm using don't have salt in them. So you want to salt both sides. And also, if you do decide to marinate the chicken for several hours, which also tenderizes it and makes it extra juicy and tender, you can still use this cooking method to make it. So after seasoning, you'll want to start preheating your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit and preheat your oven. So my chicken has cooked at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes, or until the internal temperature reaches around 160, maybe 2 or 3. I'm going to remove it from the oven and place another baking sheet on top to let it rest. The biggest tips, or the secret tips, for achieving a tender, juicy chicken breast when you don't have time to marinate is letting it set on your countertop for about 20-25 minutes to remove the chill. And you could marinate it in that time, by the way. And then you place it in a really hot oven, 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and you cook it for 15 minutes and let it rest for an additional 10 minimum. And these things will yield a juicy, tender chicken breast. And I'm going to slice into it. And once I slice into it, you'll notice it's not really going to release any of the juices, because if you did it right, you let it rest. So all the juices that would have kind of just spilled out onto your cutting board had time to just set and soak right back into the chicken breast. And I have to show you. I'm going to give you a close-up look of one slice. You see how just loosey-goosey and juicy it is? I know, such a horrible way to describe that. But look at that. So I'm going to share with you two. Today I'm going to show you how I make arroz con pollo. This one-pan chicken and rice dish is going to be good. So I'm working with about 3.5 pounds of whole chicken wings. I did remove the wing tips, and I'm seasoning with about 2 teaspoons of Montreal chicken seasoning. Here I'm going to add like 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, and you could use smoked paprika or Spanish paprika. Here I'm using onion powder, around 1.5 to 2 teaspoons, the same amount of garlic powder. And I'm also going to add salt-free lemon pepper, the same amount. Really, seasoning and salt and things like that are to your preference, so do that. Now I'm going to give it a good mix. For today's recipe, I'm working with 2 cups of long grain rice, and I'm going to rinse this in cold water. Doing this removes most or some of the rice starch, and it gives it a better, fluffier texture when you cook it. Here I have preheated a large pan. I'm going to add some cooking oil. And now what I'm going to do is give the chicken a head start. And I'm going to cook this on each side to get some browning. Okay, so my chicken wings are flipped over and browned on each side. So I'm going to cover with a lid and I'm going to lower the heat and let this cook for about 10 to 12 minutes. So now I'm going to go over the rest of the ingredients for this recipe. Here I already have my pre-rinsed long grain rice, 2 cups. I'm also working with 4 cups of water. Here I will be using 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I didn't have fresh tomato or canned tomato sauce, so this is what I'm working with, and 2 tablespoons of chicken tomato bouillon powder. So this is like the substitution for that tomato sauce in the recipe. Here I have an onion, half of one, and broken dried bay leaves. Here I have 3 cloves of garlic minced, and here I've crushed and grinded up whole cumin seeds with black peppercorn. It's about 2 teaspoons after I crush and grind it up. So it has been about 12 minutes, so I'm going to remove all of my chicken wings from the pan. This gave it color, browning, and it gave it a head start on cooking. So I put it in a bowl and I'm going to set aside until after I prep the rice. So here I'm left with a lot of fond and a lot of the rendered fat and cooking oil, so this is perfect to toast my rice. I'm going to toast this over a medium to medium low heat, and I want to toast the rice until it gets a light golden brown color and very fragrant and aromatic. Now I'm going to add my chopped onion. This is half of a medium onion and my dried bay leaves. And I'm going to continue to toast the rice and saute the onions. Now this is a good time to add the ground cumin and black peppercorn. This will warm through the dry spice and kind of release the natural oils of the ground cumin. It makes the pan very fragrant. So next, I'm going to add just like a teaspoon of cooking oil in the center, and I'm going to add around 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. And I'm going to cook the tomato paste and kind of mix it in with the rice for a minute or so. Now for my minced garlic, and I'm going to give that a quick saute. I'm going to quickly shake in my tomato chicken bouillon powder and just quickly combine and mix that with the rice. Now I'm going to add the water, and once I add the water into the pan, I'm going to quickly and gently stir and combine it with the rice and sort of pick up the fond at the bottom of the pan. Okay, so now I'm going to add all of the chicken back into the pan. It's already simmering at this point, so I'm going to cover with a lid, and I'm really testing the brim here of this pan. And I'm going to lower the heat, and I'm going to let this cook covered for about 18 to 20 minutes. Do not lift the lid. It has been about 20 minutes. I'm going to shut off the heat. I'm still leaving the lid on, and I'm going to let it set for about 10 to 15 minutes before I lift the lid and fluff the rice. Okay, so this is ready and it smells and looks amazing. You can serve with a side salad, refried beans, your favorite tortillas, and dive in. So I'm going to garnish with some freshly chopped parsley. You could also chop cilantro if you prefer to garnish it with that, or no garnish at all. It's still super good. And at this point, you can serve a plate, and I want to show you. I'm going to sort of scoop up some of the meat and kind of show you how the rice turned out. You kind of fluff it up, and it just came out perfect. It's so good. This is truly one of my favorite things to make my family. They love it, and it's perfect for a one-pan meal. So I'm going to remove this bay leaf because I'm done with that, and I can't wait to dig in. I'm going to scoop some more rice onto the plate and another chicken wing. It is so perfectly seasoned and cooked, and it's so tender. Today, I'm being lazy, but that's not going to stop me from making one of the best slow cooker fall off the bone chicken dinners. With creamy mashed potatoes, I use a mashed potato hack, and roasted asparagus. Look at this, the perfect bite for a lazy day. To start, I'm working with thawed, rinsed chicken drumsticks or chicken legs, and they're going into a 6-quart crock pot. And I want to show you my lighting setup. I'm using the grow light from my little dwarf citrus plant that I had to bring indoors. So, it's a dual purpose light. Okay, so I'm going to season with some Montreal chicken seasoning. Here I also have some onion powder, salt-free lemon pepper. I'm just going to add the rest of that bottle into 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And I'm also going to be using some original all-purpose blend. It's like a season-all salt. Here's garlic powder and smoked paprika. Season your chicken how you like. Eyeball it. I do. I'm also going to be adding chicken bouillon powder into the mix. So I'm just going to combine all of these, and this is what I'm seasoning the chicken with. So here, I'm just going to shake on part of it. I have my hand gloved because I kind of want to mix it in. You probably could do this in a bowl to make life easier, but I like to make things hard on myself. Okay, so just going to sort of coat the chicken as best as I can, give that a mix, and then I'm just going to shake in the rest. Actually, I'm going to remove this glove carefully, kind of put it inside out. There we go. And now I'm going to shake on the rest of the seasonings. Season how you like. You actually do not have to use any of these seasonings. You can use any rub or seasonings you prefer. This is just an easy recipe for slow cooker drumsticks. It's so simple. Cover with the lid, and I'm going to set this on high and let it cook until the meat is cooked through and tender. It's going to take minimum like 3 hours. Cook time always varies. So I'm sort of procrastinating today. It is a lazy day. I still have to take the Christmas tree down and take these festive plants down from the windowsill. I still have a Happy New Year's hat just sitting there. And all the while, my slow cooker crockpot dinner is just cooking away. So I'm going to procrastinate some more, and I'm going to watch this movie. I don't know. I'm just lazy today. Sometimes a home-cooked meal in the slow cooker, being lazy is right where it's at for me. Okay, back to the cooking. So I'm going to make these boursin mashed potatoes. It's really just this boursin cheese with mashed potatoes. So I'm going to peel these. You could use gold potatoes. I like russet. I find that russet potatoes, when you're mashing potatoes, just gives a creamier, velvetier texture. On a side note, I am not a professional chef or cook. So if you disagree that the russet potato is a superior potato in mashed potatoes, I probably would say you are correct. You might know more than me. This is just what I prefer. And it's usually budget friendly at my local grocery store. Okay, so I'm going to rinse these potatoes really well. I'm using definitely over 1.5 pounds of russet potatoes, maybe 2 pounds. And I'm just going to chop these into chunks, place them in my pot. And I'm going to cover this with maybe like 1/3 to 1/2 inch of water over the potatoes. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder. You could add maybe like a teaspoon or so of salt if you don't want to add that. I like this. Right into the water, and then cover with a lid, bring to a boil, let it simmer until fork tender. Now I am going to make roasted asparagus. Here's another little chefy tip. Just break one, and wherever it breaks, that's where you want to cut. And I don't remember where I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw it when I was younger on a cooking show. I used to love watching cooking shows on PBS. Okay, so I'm going to clean all of the asparagus. And by separating it from the rubber bands and doing this, you know, you get to weed out things that you don't want to eat, like this. And I'm just going to continue rinsing, making sure there's no debris. I'll probably rinse it once or twice. But yeah, you definitely want to do this. Actually, this asparagus is really thin. I noticed that in my local grocery store, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going in with some avocado oil, and I'm going to season with McCormick's lemon pepper. That's it. So really simple. Like I always say, season things how you like. If all you have is salt and pepper in your pantry, you know, do that. That works. You know, I understand that people, when they are cooking, they don't have this like extensive, plentiful, bountiful pantries to work with. I get it. So salt and pepper works. Okay, so let's just spread this into a single layer on a baking sheet with parchment paper, and I'm going to roast these at around 425 for maybe 10 minutes or so. It's not going to take long because these are really thin. Okay, crockpot chicken is basically done. This took 3.5 hours on high. It also depends if your chicken is going in cold. If it's super cold, it will definitely take a longer time to cook through. But this is falling apart, and I want this morsel for myself. And it's quality control. It's so good. Okay, so my mashed potatoes should be done. I'm using a chopstick. Fork tender works. No resistance on the chopstick, so these are cooked through and tender. I'm going to strain out all the boiling liquid, but I will leave around ½ cup in the pot for flavor. I'm going to unwrap this Boursin cheese and just put it right into the potatoes. Honestly, this idea is on their website. I remember this was like a mashed potato hack not too long ago. I'm adding hot milk. I put the milk into the microwave. That just helps to keep things warm as you're mashing these. And just combine everything together with the milk, the Boursin cheese. You can add salt and pepper to taste, and those are the mashed potatoes. I don't know, they are really good, and adding the chicken bouillon powder to the boiling liquid really does add great flavor. I know people like to boil potatoes in chicken stock or chicken broth. That also works. By the way, if you are new here, welcome to my channel, Simply Mama Cooks, where you can find easy recipes, subpar recipe video edits, and personal stories you didn't ask for. Welcome. Okay, mashed potatoes done. So my asparagus is done at this point. It did not take very long at a 425-degree Fahrenheit oven. Simply seasoned with a lemon pepper seasoning. That's it. These are done. So asparagus, delicious. Mashed potatoes are creamy and flavorful. And these are tender, fall off the bone chicken drumsticks. Okay, so I'm going to plate dinner because everyone is hungry. And I can't wait to dig into this comforting, cozy meal. Look at this. And check this out. The sauce at the bottom of the slow cooker thickened because of the all-purpose flour and the seasoning that I kind of shook onto the chicken. Okay, going right over because it's so flavorful. And this is dinner. Very simple, very easy. I'm going to keep this in rotation because it's so good. Okay, so today we're going for easy chicken enchiladas. You guys know I make enchiladas probably once a week. For the sauce, I'm going to use the base with this hot tomato sauce, the El Pato brand, and I am going to add some seasonings and spices to make it like enchilada sauce. Here I have a rotisserie chicken. I'm going to debone it, remove all the meat, and shred it. I have my corn tortillas. I also am going to be using some cheese, onion. Gonna be good. And the best part, easy. Thumbs up. Okay, so for the enchilada sauce, by the way, my son is hanging out with me today, so you'll hear noise in the background. Okay, so I'm going to be using cans of the El Pato sauce. I'm also going to add some seasoning and spices. Here I have a combination. These are cumin seeds with black peppercorn. I'm going to basically grind these up. I'm also going to add some chili powder. This is a light chili powder, and some chicken bouillon cube or bouillon, granulated bouillon powder into the sauce. And that's just going to, you know, add more flavor. Okay. So I'm just going to grab some, put that in there, maybe a little more peppercorn, and just, you know, crush this and grind this up. And I just love how aromatic the ground cumin and the black peppercorn is. Okay, in a preheated pan, I have a little bit of cooking oil, and I'm going to start adding my seasonings and spices. I want to warm them through. So I've got my ground cumin and black peppercorn. I'm going to go in with my chili powder, like, I'd say like 2 teaspoons. I have a little bit of garlic powder, some paprika, like a half teaspoon, and I'm out of onion powder, so I'm adding just a little bit of minced onion. Give that a mix, warm it through just quickly. I'm not going to cook this very long. Oh, that already smells great. Now add in your sauce. Go in with my cans of sauce here. Actually, I think I'm only going to use 2 cans, not 3. I think this will be enough for my family. And this is the enchilada sauce. Now, I am going to add some chicken bouillon powder. Start with a half teaspoon, mix it, simmer it, give it a taste, and adjust to your preference. Okay, so I'm gonna let this simmer for a little bit, gently, and that's the enchilada sauce. It's that simple. Okay, so let's go over the ingredients here. I have my cold corn tortillas, my enchilada sauce that I made really quick, shredded rotisserie chicken. If you're boiling chicken, yeah, you'll need to season this, but rotisserie chicken from the store is already seasoned. It has a lot of sodium in it, so I'm not really going to add salt or anything, but season how you like. I'm also going to be filling this with a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese, and I'll top it with some crumbled cotija cheese. You can garnish how you like. That's what I'm doing. And I might actually mix in a little bit of dried cilantro. I have some dried cilantro. I think that'll go quite nice. Okay, so to make this very easy, I'm going to just do multiple enchiladas on my little electric griddle. So what I'll do first, let me get my camera set up and I'll show you how I'm gonna prep these and cook these. Okay, so here I have my sauce. I'm gonna spray the griddle, and I have it at a low heat setting, like no more than 300. It'll be too hot, I think. So you'll wanna coat your corn tortilla. This is a cold corn tortilla. Add it right to your griddle. And I'm gonna let it kind of fry on one side. So you know what? I think my hands can handle it. Give that a flip. There you go. Add some chicken to the center. You're gonna add your cheese, and we're gonna carefully roll it up. So now just carefully, you know, get your 2 little, whatever it is you're gonna use. And I probably filled this a little too much. I overfilled it, but that's okay. I want this to roll trifold. I think I put too much chicken in it, but we'll do the best we can with this one. There we go. Done. Okay. And just kind of keep it together and repeat the process. We'll let that, there we go. Give it a quick dunk. Give it a flip. Okay. This time I'm not gonna stuff it. Add your chicken in there. The cheese. Here we go. I always do that. There we go. And now we flip it to the seam side down. And there we go. And I'm just gonna start filling up my griddle. Okay, so here we have my enchiladas. And I'm gonna start, oh gosh, I'm doing this one-handed. I'm gonna start by flipping these. Let's see if I can do it easily one-handed. Boom. Oh yeah. There we go. Gonna flip these over carefully. Yum. gonna scooch these. I was trying to be careful with these, but I'll do them one at a time. Hopefully they don't come apart. There we go. Okay, last one, flipping it over. And there we go. So I have a little bit of mozzarella cheese left over. So I'm gonna add, I flipped them over again and just add the cheese on top. If you want it cheesy, you know, do that. There we go. And then now, my cotija cheese with the cilantro. Okay, let it go just for a little bit, get things nice and melty, and it's done. Look at that. All my enchiladas in a row, all at one time, and now we can all sit and eat together. I'm gonna show you how to make crispy golden brown chicken cutlets, a very simple side salad. This is gonna be good. One large lemon that I'm just going to squeeze all the juice into my jar here. Oh, this is hard. There we go. Like a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half is probably what I'm getting out of that. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of finely minced onion. I used red onion. Here I have some garlic paste. You know what? Let's go in like that. A little more, try to squeeze a little more lemon juice. And the ratios of these ingredients are up to you. I'm gonna add some salt into here, like a 1/4 teaspoon. It's up to you again, like I said. Pepper, honey, just a little bit. I'm gonna go in with some olive oil, probably like 3 tablespoons to a 1/4 cup. And now I'm just gonna close the jar and shake it. And then I'll just set this aside, and when I'm ready to use it, I'll shake it again and use it to dress my salad. Okay, so I have like 3, you could start with a cup of all-purpose flour. I think I have like a little under. I'm going in with some smoked paprika, Italian herb blend, garlic powder, onion powder. Here I have some seasoned salt, or you could use just salt. Going in with some cracked black pepper. Give all that a mix, and this is going to be what I dredge, the first dredge for my chicken cutlets. And you can adjust the ratios, and you can also use your favorite store-bought chicken seasoning as well. It'll work. There we go. So here I have a pound of chicken. I'm going to take each cutlet, dredge it into the seasoned flour, and give it a little shake after you dredge it, and then into the egg wash, and both sides once again, and then you'll want to let it kind of drain and drip a little bit, and then right into your panko. With your dry hand, you'll want to press and coat your chicken cutlet on all sides. Just make sure you add lots of panko and get it on the ends. Press it in, give it a flip and press it in. There we go. And now onto my baking sheet to set. And then you just repeat the process for all of the chicken. Now I'm going to fry these. I'm going to fry these for several minutes on each side. It's really not going to take that long because these are thin cutlet pieces. And you could also do a shallow fry. I think I added too much oil, but a shallow fry works for this just as well. Okay, so here I have a bunch of fresh spring mix salad, and it's going to go into my bowl here. And I'm just going to dress the lettuce leaves. It's good. Now I'm just going to dress and toss the salad. You can also add like freshly grated Parmesan. It all works. By the way, if you hear the noise in the background, that is my son playing with Legos. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to serve a plate. So I'm going to grab some of this dressed salad, which it's very simple and I love it. And you know what? I also have some freshly sliced or fresh cucumber slices. I like sliced chunky tomato because I'm going to use a knife anyway to cut the chicken. So that's my salad. Here's my chicken cutlet. I'm going to dress this with a little bit of shaved Parmesan cheese, cracked black pepper. And you could do like a wedge of lemon, and this is lunch. Simple, fresh, texturally crunchy and fresh, just my favorite. Today, I'm going to show you how I make buffalo chicken spaghetti in the crock pot. This is going to be good. So I thawed chicken breasts about a day and a half ago, and they need to be cooked, but I've been cleaning all day. So into the crock pot they go. I have 3 chicken breasts. I don't know what I'm going to do with them quite yet, but I'm just going to season them with salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and cracked black pepper. These chicken breasts are right out of my refrigerator, so they are cold. The cook time is going to vary. I'm going to cover with a lid. I'm also going to set it to high. You can also do this on low and let it cook. Okay, so I have cream cheese. I have some Frank's Red Hot wing sauce. And I have this chicken. It's like an hour and a half into the cook time. And I think I want buffalo chicken dip. So I was just going to shred this meat and do something else with it. But you know what? We're going for like a one crock pot, dump and go something. So let me get this opened up. You know, it's like that lower fat content cream cheese. You can go with your 8 ounces of cream cheese. Get that in there. I'm also going to add this package of ranch seasoning. I'm really just trying to make a meal here. So I think what I'm going to do, you can do this, make it a dip. I'm going to actually put like some sort of pasta into the mix. Okay, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to add this bottle of, maybe I'll do, yeah, I'm going to do the whole. This is a 12-ounce bottle of Frank's Red Hot wing sauce going in. So I'm going to let this continue cooking for another hour and 30 minutes. Shred it up. And then I'm gonna add some shredded cheese and pasta. It's gonna be good. Okay, so this chicken definitely has to be done. I have my husband helping me in the kitchen. So the best way to shred chicken, so I'm told, from you all in the comment section, and my brother-in-law does this in the crock pot. We are going to shred the chicken using this mixer. So you wanna make sure you press it in, let's see, on low. Okay, so this does a great job at shredding chicken. Yay, thanks for the tip, everyone. Okay, so I have this already on low. This is done at this point. So what I'm going to do, because I was really trying to figure out what to do with those chicken breasts, I'm going to bring this up to boil and I'm going to cook some spaghetti and throw it into the crock pot, and that's gonna be dinner. Here I have some shredded cheese. This is an 8-ounce block of shredded cheese. I'm going to add just a handful and mix it into the chicken as if it wasn't creamy and cheesy enough. So half of that's going in there. I'm just gonna grab this spoon and give everything a mix. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. You can actually already eat this as a dip. I do that all the time. But, okay, so cover with a lid, let it hang out. I have it at low heat because the chicken's already cooked, everything's shredded. Okay, so I'm going to add just a couple of teaspoons of salt into the water. Okay, some of it's broken at the bottom, but we're gonna take it over here to the pot and go right in. Actually just gonna add all those broken pieces as well. And you'll wanna just cook your pasta or your spaghetti until your desired doneness. That is up to you. I'm gonna go for somewhere like 7 to 8 minutes, maybe 9. I don't know, until it's done. So I wanted to clarify. I started off this video, or I started off making chicken in the crock pot because I wasn't sure what to do with chicken breast that I had thawed in my fridge for like over a day. Then I thought buffalo chicken, and I'll just sort of meal prep it or put it in containers and store it. Then I thought I need to cook dinner. Let's add some pasta into the mix and make buffalo chicken spaghetti. So that's what I'm doing. Buffalo chicken spaghetti in the slow cooker / crock pot. So there. Okay. So this is ready. This is where I need it to be. By the way, I used like 13 ounces of spaghetti. I did not have a full pound of spaghetti, so that's what I'm working with today. So I'm gonna drain the pasta water. And you can always reserve like half a cup of pasta water, just in case. Okay, so this is drained. And it's going into the crock pot. There we go. And you know what? I'm gonna add the rest of the cheese right on top. Now, we give it a mix. And this is going to be a buffalo chicken spaghetti. So glad that I didn't know what to do with the chicken breast earlier and had all the ingredients for this. And this is going to be dinner. Garnish how you like. Chop fresh scallions, parsley. It's so good. So just keep mixing. I'm going to garnish with fresh parsley, or like I said, scallion right on top. And this is dinner. So good. It wouldn't be an official soup season if I didn't make a pot of chicken caldo. This is a Mexican-style chicken soup that I love to serve with Mexican red rice. This chicken and rice is the perfect combo. I am starting with 1 split bone-in skin-on chicken breast, for this recipe, and I'm making a small pot of chicken caldo. I'm going to be using around 7 cups of broth. Here I have 1 medium carrot, half of a celery stick. I also have 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, 1 dried bay leaf, and half of a medium onion chopped. And this is what I'm going to start with. In a pot, this is a 5 to 6 quart pot, I'm going to add 6 to 7 cups of chicken broth. I only have 6 cups, so I'll have to add water to make up the difference. Into the pot, I'm adding my chicken breast. I'm also adding the carrot, onion, celery, and bay leaf going in. I'm going to turn on the heat, and I'm going to offset the lid and bring that up to a rapid simmer, gentle boil. I'm also going to be adding 2 small to medium potatoes, half of a small cabbage or some chunks, and 1 zucchini. Once the chicken broth and soup is simmering like this, I'm going to turn it down and let it cook for about 35 minutes. After 35 minutes, now I'm going to add the rest of the vegetables. Here I have my potatoes and zucchini chopped. By the way, when you're doing this, be careful, because then this could happen. Now I'm going to add the cabbage on top. I'm going to add like a teaspoon of salt. Salt and seasoning is to your preference. I'm going to shake that on. I'm also going to add cracked black pepper to taste. Now I'm going to give everything a mix and just sort of combine that. And at this point, you could also add chayote. That is another ingredient I love to add to my chicken caldo. I just don't have that today. And I also love to add fresh corn on the cob, but I do that later if I had it. Okay, I'm going to add an extra cup of water to make up the 7 cups because I only had 6 cups of broth. That goes in. I'm going to offset the lid once again and let it continue cooking. Now let me show you how I make my Mexican red rice. You'll want to preheat the pan over a low to medium low heat, and I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of cooking oil. And I've pre-rinsed in cold water 1 cup of long grain rice, and I'm going to toast this until a light golden color. You want to take your time doing this, try not to burn the rice, and just keep mixing and coating the rice in the cooking oil and toasting it evenly. Here I'm going to add a little bit of sliced onion and saute that, and everything smells very aromatic. And after the onion, I am going to add like a half teaspoon to a full teaspoon of crushed or ground cumin seeds with black peppercorns. And what I did is I just took a teaspoon of the mix and I just kind of grinded it up, cracked it, grind it, I don't know, crushed it, add it to the pan. And you want to do this quickly. This is just to kind of bloom the seasoning and make it very aromatic and fragrant. Here I'm going to mix in 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder and just quickly mix that. You don't want to burn this either because things are really hot in this pan. Now I'm going to add 8 ounces of tomato sauce. By the way, if you want to add fresh garlic, you want to do that right before the tomato sauce. I just forgot. At this point, you'll want to add 16 fluid ounces of low sodium chicken broth or water. I'm filling up the tomato sauce can because it's 8 ounces, so that's 1. I'm going to crank up the heat because you want to start to get this to simmer and boil a bit. And I'm going to fill up the second time. And I will add another ounce or so of water to make up 16 fluid ounces of liquid. And I'm going to shake in half a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of onion powder. Like I said, you could use fresh garlic in place of the powder. And when I go to mix this, if you're going to do this, you want to gently mix quickly. Don't overwork the rice. And what I'm going to do next is cover with a lid. And once it comes up to a simmer or a boil, you'll want to lower the heat and let it cook for about 15 to 18 minutes. Since I'm working with one chicken breast, I probably should have cut it into sections, but I'm going to use my sharp kitchen shears to cut the chicken into at least 3 chunks because this is going to serve 3 people. But it smells amazing. You'll want to taste for salt and seasoning and adjust to your preference. Okay, so the rice is done, but I'm not going to lift the lid. I'm going to let it hang out for about 5 to 10 minutes with the lid on before serving. And my kitchen smells amazing. This is going to be such a good dinner. So in all, the caldo took less than an hour to make, around 50 minutes or so. So I'm going to serve a bowl with a little bit of that rice first. Look at this. It just came out perfectly. And the contrast of the tomatoey Mexican red rice goes great with the chicken caldo. And there are so many variations to make chicken caldo. Some people like to add fresh tomato into the mix or tomato sauce or maybe like a chili puree. It's really up to you. But this combo, this is my favorite. So let me know in the comment section your favorite way to make chicken caldo or if you've made it before. By the way, this is cold and flu season and this soup is so comforting and helps to alleviate some of those flu and cold symptoms. So you better believe if we get sick, I'm going to be making this again. But look at this, perfect. But I am going to garnish it because, you know, thumbnail purposes. You can add cilantro or parsley. And I'm also going to add a hint of lime. And if you have a really good spicy salsa, that also goes great. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it. And thanks for watching.